Dance. 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 You can see that look in my eye. Ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Roll up while I cry.
Here we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I'm not, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Night Chat. It is currently going on almost 8, little past quarter to 8 where I'm at. Where are you guys viewing from tonight? Let me know. We're going to talk about some Night Chat. We're going to talk about some really crazy stuff. If you guys wanted to come up and co-host, let me know. It is Friday, and I know some of you are snowed in. From what I gather, some of you are snowed in. I mean, it's supposed to be a snowstorm all around. Probably a bad thing in certain states, but probably a good thing in certain states, considering you have ice out there causing chaos and havoc. So I'm not sure what that means in other states. Oh, hi, the Quiet Storm. 1047, girl, what are you doing up? What are you doing up, girl? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you been doing? I may have to ask you to come up and co-host later. Oh, you couldn't sleep? Girl, me too. But I had a lot of coffee. So I'm not going to be dragging today. Good. All right, so here are your warnings.
Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy.
All righty, let's do it. Generally, I pull it up on the thing, but you know what? I was going to use a different software today, but for some reason, it was not acting right. It was taking too long, so I was like, you know what? Forget it. I just said forget it. Annoyed me. Maybe I'll just do it on my computer next time. Maybe it'll work better on my computer. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's talk. We have a lot to talk about. So, Quiet Storm, I hope you're ready to, chat it up, because I hope you're not trying to go to sleep anytime soon, because there is a lot we need to talk about. Okay? All right, in politics, we're, of course, just to let you know, we're going to talk about Greenland, of course. We're going to talk about Ukraine, Iran, and then I'm going to give like a hypothetical reason for Greenland. Just the theory is not verified, it's not proven, it's literally hypothetical. Okay, let me give that particular reason. And then we're going to talk about what the federal judge had ruled in terms of Donald Trump. We're definitely going to talk about that. So first up, let's talk about, as usual, Greenland. The latest real world developments. Now, seeing Trump announce a framework deal with NATO on Greenland, Trump says he and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte agreed on a framework of a future deal involving Greenland and the Arctic region. As a result, he paused the tariffs. He threatened against 8 European allies. Yes, he did. And Denmark responded firmly. Greenland's sovereignty is not negotiable, which means they're saying, okay, our safety of our citizens is not negotiable. And I'm so sick of him in Greenland. But they are open to Arctic security talks. Now, NATO clarified that no discussion of the U.S. has been taking place in terms of Greenland. And it says if it's going to be by force, then they're not going to be talking or anything of the nature, because that's not the kind of talk they want to do. So a lot of stuff that Trump is saying in the news is not even accurate. So they're saying no discussion of the U.S. taking Greenland by force occurred. So they're not talking about no deal or buying this, buying that. It's just stupid. And for some odd reason, Donald Trump is thinking if he go through with the takeover of Greenland, he'll get a Nobel Peace Prize. What about taking Greenland by force? I don't know, negotiate, or is it concocted as peace? I'm still trying to figure out. He think by taking Greenland by force is considered peaceful. In what way does he think that's peaceful? I don't know what's wrong with this man. Something is seriously wrong with him. I think they need to do a CAT scan on him, because he's thinking by taking Greenland by force is considered peaceful. In what world? I mean, I'm trying to make it make sense. Seriously, make it make freaking sense. How is that peaceful? So anyway, so why Greenland matters. Here is the actual truth. Okay, it's a strategic Arctic location with U.S. missile warning system. Russia and China are increasing activity in the Arctic, raising security concerns, which means they are preparing for war. If Donald Trump take over Greenland, they are going to have to go through Donald Trump, and then they don't want that because they don't like Donald Trump. I don't know about Putin. Putin have his own underhanded agendas. You know what I'm saying? But still, so everyone is preparing for, as I had been saying in my last live show. So the U.S. already has a base there it's been under an agreement since 1951. So we already have some kind of deal with Greenland, but I don't know what the hell Trump doing this for. I mean, the man is causing chaos all over the world. He's literally causing chaos everywhere. The whole world is up in uproar because he's losing his goddamn mind. So the European reaction, it seems like European officials worried that Trump Greenland push nearly fracture NATO unity. Remember, I told you because, Greenland is part of NATO. So him trying to pursue this is really messing up our partnership and is causing NATO to, like I told you, to dismantle. He's messing up everything because he doesn't know what he's doing, and no one's stopping him. I mean, the liberation and the white supremacists are losing their mind. They're taking out historical facts in terms of slavery off of buildings, which is illegal, by the way. It has to go to the historical society. It has to be agreed upon to take it down. Trump don't have the legal right to tell them to take it down. So the gentleman who took those down will get in trouble and probably face fines or probably go to jail. But anyway, so that's with that. And then they accused him of trying to blackmail them with tariffs and said that Russia and China could exploit the division. Remember, he said, if you don't agree for us to get NATO, I'm going to impose you with 50, 60, 70% tariffs. I mean, he's seriously been a bully, for real. Trump should be in an old folks home. He should be in an old folks home or worse than that. You damn right he should be. Freaking lunatic. All right, here are some clips right here. Now, these are the citizens of Greenland, and they come to talk.
We are not interested in being Americans.
And they don't have nothing but negative stuff to say about us.
Danish and Greenland have to get together and don't fight.
See, look what he's doing. You see this? This is what he's doing. This is so fucked up. I'm drinking tea, so if you guys see me stuck, I'm drinking tea.
We're protesting against the orange dictator in the U.S. who is trying to bully his way to undermine the sovereignty of the Greenlandic people and take away their right to decide who they want to be part of.
The Kingdom of Denmark has always supported the United States when they have been in problem, and right now they are saying thank you to us in this way.
I think it's really incredible how many Greenlandic flags is everywhere because it's our country and the support for our self-determination is so important.
Better late than never. This is a disaster. This is an utter freaking disaster. You know how many protests has been happening all over the world? It has been so many protests. It is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I don't know. I think it's a childhood fantasy. You know how when you're in school, they say, oh, Greenland is big, even though it's not that big. You know, Greenland. I think he just has some childhood dream of or something. I don't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, we don't want, if I don't know if the Greenland people can hear me, we don't want this, okay? We don't want this. We didn't ask for this. He's doing this on his own accord. We have nothing to do with this. Just want to point that out. So please don't take it on us because we have nothing to do with this. We didn't vote for that crazy psychopath. Freaking crazy psychopath. Now here is the leader of Greenland.
Nobody else than Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark had the mandate to make deals or agreements about Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark without us. That's not going to happen. We have said from the beginning in Greenland, we have some red lines. We cannot cross the red lines. We have to respect our territorial integrity. We have to respect international law, sovereignty. We are ready to cooperate more in economics and in other areas, but that's something we have to talk about in mutual respect. But as I said also, we still in Greenland hope for and work for to get a good dialogue ongoing so we can have a partnership in mutual respect with respect for the red lines we already have drawn. Then I think we can have a good relationship afterwards.
Yeah, he should leave them alone. I know, right? We sure in the hell don't. And he should leave them alone because we don't got nothing to do with this. If they want, I was going to say something, but there are some words I can't say on even YouTube. You know, we don't have anything to do with this. Seriously. Nothing, nada. Whew. Sharon, over on Instagram, yes. And I want to say that, but I can't say that. You know, it sucks because I want to say that, but I can't say that. But we are thinking the same thing, for real. Make sure you guys share. Okay, let's move on to the Iran tension there. I got more clips here. Oh, okay. So we are currently in UK now. We're in UK now. Okay, so there has been some kind of trilateral talks. It began in Abu Dhabi. It seems that Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. are meeting for the first time. Some kind of trilateral talk since 2022 invasion. Trump is pushing hard for a peace deal, but major issues remain unsolved because Trump doesn't know what peace means, but he's still trying to get this Nobel Peace Prize, but he has no idea what he is doing. I just want to keep pointing that out because that is literally the key factor here. He have no idea what he is doing. Okay? Just want to make sure we understand this, okay? Because he's trying to push a peace deal, but he's doing it on the base of force. So it's like, I want peace, and if you don't give me what I want, you won't have peace. I will have peace. So this peace is a one-sided thing. Peace supposed to be a give and take. It's supposed to be a compromise. Both parties supposed to be satisfied with the peace deal. But in Trump's eyes, a peace deal consists of him being a bully and you doing what he say. That's the peace deal. Just make sure we understand this, okay? Because that's his idea of peace. Okay? Is you doing what I say. That's his idea of peace. You know, just want to say that. Okay? Freaking believable. Anyway, so we have that, okay? And then we have the main sticking point. The main sticking point is Russia demands Ukraine withdraw from the eastern Donbass region, but Ukraine refuses, calling it a red line draw, with the blood of soldiers. So we still have these two individuals still fighting each other, and they've been fighting physically. And I said this in one of my other live shows for going on 4 years, but fighting in general for 11 fucking years. I want to make sure you guys understand that. They've been fighting for 11 freaking years. 11 years in total. Physically 4. That's ridiculous. What else are you streaming on that you're talking with others? Oh, I'm streaming on Instagram too. And other places. You feel like you should be in that chat too? You can if you want to be in that chat. I'm on my Instagram too, The Truth Show Deluxe. This should be somewhere at the bottom. No, it's not. It's not down at the bottom. I had to put that down there. I'll put it down there. But anyway, now you said Trump is interested in Greenland, centers on military strategic value, rare and critical natural resources. Yeah, I know, but I know there's some kind of, I know natural resources, yada, 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 but we have a lot of natural resources, and we got a partnership with them, Greenland already. We already got a nice, civilized, peaceful deal with them. He don't have to do this. Okay, Jose, you do that. All right, anyway. So that's what it is. So we have Ukraine and we have Putin still fighting over stupid stuff. I already said to the Cosmos, I said, just have these two fight it out like medieval times. Just do it. Put them in a ring. It could be a freaking worldwide broadcasting, all the news team, everybody there. Throw their little crazy behinds in that ring and let them fight to death. Whoever lives, win. Or whoever calls draw, whatever they do. And that's how it should be. That we won't have to worry about going to war, because that way innocent people wouldn't have to die on their behalf. Our innocent soldiers wouldn't have to die on their behalf, because I don't think that's right for them to fight, because these two knuckleheads can't agree on anything. Well, primarily Putin. Putin's trying to take over in general. He wants to take over everywhere. Of course, he can't do China. He definitely can't do Japan. But he's definitely going to try to take over the boarding, and he's going to ease. We'll talk about that a little later. Anyway, so the Ukraine position right now. Zelensky says talks are a step, but not necessarily a positive one. So Zelensky said there's kind of talk, but not really talks. And it's not, none of it's positive, none of it's whatever. That's what Zelensky is saying. Okay. And then he wants more U.S. air defense support. So he's asking for more U.S. air defense support. But here's the deal. Trump is underhandedly in bed still with Putin. They're still talking. They've been talking since back, the 80s? 80s, late 80s or 90s. I mean, they're still talking. I mean, they was trading brides and everything. Where the hell you think Melania came from? So they're still talking. So I don't know. So Trump has been a two-face. He's been two-faced. Let's be realistic here. He's been two-faced. Okay. How do you pronounce your name? Oh, you said, it's Joseph. Joseph. Oh, Joseph. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought the F was a middle initial. Okay. So it's Joseph. Okay. I thought the F was middle initial. Okay. I do apologize. Okay. All right. He wasn't you. That's my auto bot. I can't stop it. I have to go literally in the coding and do that, but I get you. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. That's what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. Okay. How about I just call you Joe? So it won't be any confusion. All right, so we have Iran. All right, we have Iran here. It seems like Iran the tension with Iran is definitely rising. Okay, Iran denies Trump claim of all. See, Trump is telling the media that only 8 has been executed. First of all, no one should be executed anyway. All right? I don't even know why we're having this freaking discussion. So, Joseph. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, your family calls you Joe? Okay, thank you. I'll call you Joe then. Okay, so Just to let you know, guys, that's what's going on there. Yeah. That's who I'm talking to. For whoever wondered, like, who is she talking to? That's who I'm talking to. Okay. All right. So moving on here. All right. So Trump is telling the media that only 800 has been executed. Now, these are 800 innocent people who are dying on behalf of this lunatic who has literally got the whole world in uproar, except for Ukraine and Russia. They've been fighting before he even got into the office, but just saying everywhere else. And I think Iran, they've been fighting too. But other than that, he has pretty much everywhere in uproar. Seriously, a freaking uproar. Even the UK is starting to prepare too. And China's been preparing, and they haven't really prepared for anything other than working or whatever tariff deal or whatever. You know, even though their bylaws and rules down there is literally to always prepare for war, but they've been really prepared for like underwater submarines. I mean, everywhere, everyone is preparing for war because they don't trust Donald Trump. So it's getting really bad out there, you guys. It's getting really, really bad. Anyway, so Trump is saying that only 800 have been executed. 800 innocent protesters have been executed, which is they shouldn't be executed anyway. We shouldn't even be having this freaking discussion, but that's what Trump is claiming. But the activists say over 5,000 protesters has been executed, not 800. So he lied about that. That first of all, that number is ridiculous. So it says here that activists say over 5,000 protesters have been killed in the crackdown. So since Trump meddled in to oversee business that had nothing to do with him, we have no reason to butt in with whatever hell going on in Iran, whatever the hell they're fighting. We had nothing to do with that. Our partnership was fine. Trump butted in because he thinking by doing this and stopping him from fighting, he can get a Nobel Peace Prize. But I don't know what the fuck wrong with this man. Seriously, something is seriously wrong with him. He's thinking about butting in and killing innocent people and causing more chaos than is not needed. He feels that, okay, if I tell him to stop or demand tariffs, I can get a Nobel Peace Prize. I can get a Nobel Peace. He's not like a 9-year-old boy. Like, he took my toy. I mean, what the hell? So that's what's going on with Trump. And 5,000 innocent people had to die because of this. And yeah, he's still in office. And then we still have white supremacy running around here feeling liberated to do what they want. Make it make sense. And then we have the U.S. military moves because now our innocent soldiers have to prepare now for war because he's causing all this chaos and havoc everywhere. So a U.S. carrier group is moving toward the region now, which Trump compared to some armada. Now, analysts warned this could escalate into military action, which means this could escalate to a full-blown war for something we had no business butting in the first place. So now our innocent soldiers have to fight for this fucking lunatic without their will because they don't want to, but they have no other choice. Once you deploy, you deploy. So we're going to be losing innocent men. And he want that. He wanted to be in war. So by the time the mid-elections come, we can't have an election because we're in the middle of a war. Now, if the overseas people can try to stray from that, if they can, I don't know how, when he's a loose cannon and no one's stopping him from doing anything, I don't know. But I hope they can try to stray it. I mean, come on, nature, help us out here. Cause some snowstorms, some rainstorms, something. Halt it, do something. Goddamn. Now, here's what I think is going on with the whole little Greenland situation. Because every time I talk about Greenland, every time I talk about any of those things, you know who name keep popping up? Putin. Putin name keeps popping up. I'm just going to call him Poot. Okay? Poot name keep popping up. Every time I talk about Greenland, he's popping up everywhere. When I talk about Project 2025, he's popping up. Now, this is hypothetical, theory. Is not valid. Just want to make sure you guys understand. And it's a hypothetical. What if someone behind the scenes is pulling the strings? Now, we know that, Putin has been trying to take over America because America's like, we was the center of everything, center of NATO, just the mainland, dreamland, come here, do what you want. Don't have to deal with the severities and the intensities of the rules that's in your country. You can live as free as you want. We're not that anymore, but we used to be. So he wants that. He wants to be in the center of all of that. You know what I mean? Even though he's a Libra, but I believe he's also an Aries. So this is what's going on with that. And it's been told, now this is all hypothetical and this is all alleged, this is not valid. It has been told that Poots is one of the proprietors and the creators of Project 2025. So here's my theory on this whole thing from deep investigation, but not yet proven. Just want to make sure you guys understand that. So the frame it is as thought experiment, not a claim. So here's the setup. What if, in theory, a powerful actor behind the scenes benefits from the two things happening at the same time? See, what if this whole thing of Trump trying to take over Greenland, because in theory, NATO destabilizes, okay, over Greenland. Ukraine weakened under the pressure, if this so happened, you know, to go through. Not saying that this is happening, just exploring the pattern, okay? So if Trump take over Greenland, okay, the whole thing with Putin, and it's one of the gazillion issues he had with the U.S. is that he's not a part of NATO. They tried to invite him in NATO, but he did not want to be a team player, which is crazy because he's supposed to be Libra, and Libra is supposed to be balanced, but he was, I think he's an Aries too, I'm not sure, or a Gemini, something like that. But anyway, he wasn't being a team player. He wanted to take it over, and he wasn't just being nice. Just want to point that out. He was being like his boyfriend Trump. So anyway, and he wasn't able to join NATO, and he's been having some vindictive, I want to take over U.S. ever fucking since. So if his main goal, other than take over Ukraine, and then if we take over Ukraine and all the nutrients in the soil, then other countries will have to go through him. We will have to go through him. So that's giving him one step closer to a partnership with us and him getting closer to us. His main goal is to take over America government. So if Trump take over Greenland, that would destabilize NATO because the other partners that's a part of NATO would drop out of NATO, which means we lose the UK, we'll lose China, we'll lose pretty much all the partners of NATO. They will all drop out. So if NATO destabilizes, that means Putin can ease in and then go ahead and, take out Trump, and then he'll take over our government, okay, which is what he wanted to do in the first place. His first goal is to destabilize NATO because without a defense mechanism, all he has to do is go to war against us, kill most of us, kill our entire government because our federal government's already destabilized and our Congress is fucked up. So, okay, check. All right, and we are going in debt because Trump is paying the ICE people so much money where we're literally going in debt. Our tax money is going to those ICE members to act like terrorists and pedophiles and rapists. So check, there goes that check. Okay, starting wars and, pissing off everyone and everyone wants to drop out, check. So you want to know who's probably more than likely behind freaking Project 2025? This motherfucker right here. So here's the pattern. Okay, so here's the pattern as a hypothetical theory here. So he destabilized our allies, our alliances. So if NATO fractures over Greenland, Europe becomes divided. You understand? Europe will become seriously divided. A divided Europe, weaker support for Ukraine, which means if Trump take over Greenland, Europe will become divided. Ukraine will automatically lose because their support they have from Greenland will weaken. So he will win. Get what I'm saying here? Okay, so the distraction. Greenland becomes a shiny object. Everyone debates tariffs, sovereignty, and Arctic access. Meanwhile, Ukraine negotiation is stalling because he is secretly working with Trump, or he's manipulating Trump because Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing. So here's the third thing for this whole hypothetical theory. So allowing a conflict between them drag on, allowing it to drag on, but the main goal is for Trump to take over freaking Greenland so he can destabilize NATO and seriously destabilize the whole support mechanism for Ukraine. He wins the war in Ukraine, then he takes over NATO, and then he started war with us because our defense mechanism is weakened and he knows Trump didn't know what the fuck he's doing. He goes into war, probably win, and damn, he has US, and he's the world dominant center of tension all over again. And that's definitely going to take us back to medieval times because that's where he's at. He's really old-fashioned and very religious back there. But I'm just saying, not going to happen, but that's his freaking goal. But let me just point this out. If the Congress don't do something, that is exactly what is going to happen. Okay? So let me just, give you a hypothetical thing here. So the conflict drags on. Okay? A prolonged Ukraine war, because they prolonging this whole war. This Ukraine war drains resources and morale because they're running out of money. But, Putin is into trafficking and all kinds of shit. So he's technically not running out of money. And then a weakened Ukraine becomes vulnerable. You see what I'm saying? So here's the fourth reason. So then he step in as a savior. Okay. He becomes as a mediator, the stabilizer, the power that restores order. But he's coming in to take over. Isn't that kind of like what they said the Antichrist is supposed to do? So this is a classical geopolitical playbook used pretty much throughout history. Now, in a transition to the age of Aquarius, this is just not supposed to happen. But let me just see what's going on here. We've been having some weird shit so far. So let me just make it clear. First of all, this is a hypothetical scenario, okay, of storytelling, okay? But when you look at the real world facts, NATO tension over Greenland stalled Ukraine talks, rising Arctic competition, the pattern is interesting to consider, which means my hypothetical reason could be the exact freaking agenda that Putin more than likely have, okay? Because he came out in the media said, that would be a great victory for Trump to take over Greenland. Of course it will. Because his whole agenda is to take over. He wants to be America. He wants to be America. He wants to be the center hub of the world. That's what he wants. And the only way to do that is with this fucking idiot. And if the Congress don't stop getting off their high horse and put their racism and stupid bigotry and dumbass aside, they're going to get us all killed, including themselves and their grandchildren. If they need to seriously look in the mirror, have some morality, some integrity, and realize that you are literally stabilizing our entire economic system and demographic, and you're going to kill us. But I guess they don't fucking care because the only thing they care about is racism and getting everyone off the freaking American land, aside from Caucasian, because most of the freaking ICE people are immigrants. But whatever. So I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore. But I just want to point that out. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so we have federal judge questions Trump authority on White House ballroom. Remember, Trump is using our tax money to pay for this ballroom crap, saying that it's some very needed repairs or some bullshit like that. Now, a federal judge is questioning whether President Trump actually has the legal authority to order a new ballroom. He does not, because he has, in order to do any historical renovation or taking down historical educated things like war veterans, signs that they took down, you have to go through a lot of steps. Trump don't have the authority to do that, but people are stupid and not listening. So anyway, in order to do any major construction, he had to get approval by the Congress because they have to approve funding. He just doing it like it's his own house, as if he preparing not to go anywhere. So you have Trump, who think he has a legal authority to order a new ballroom to be built at the White House. During the hearing, the judge pressed Trump's lawyer to point to a specific law or a constitutional power that lets him approve major construction on the federal property without going through the usual agencies or getting Congress involved, which he don't do. And all the Congress members who allow him to do this should be disbarred. They should be fired. Now, the judge seems skeptical. And Trump's team struggled to give a clear answer because they don't have a clear answer because none of them have a lot of experience. These are just a bunch of fucking criminals who's literally on Trump's, approval ledger. None of them have experience. These are just his homeboys, pedophile, rapists, dumbasses, people who got seriously all kinds of indictments and legalities on their freaking resumes. But whatever. Anyway. Hi, Better Black. How you doing? Okay, so the judge seems skeptical, and this team, of course, was struggling to give a clear answer, raising bigger questions about how far the president's power really goes when it comes to altering government buildings. And trust me, No president have the power to tear down a historical structure or any historical marks in general. You just don't. But no one's telling him no. And I feel like we're in a freaking dream. And everyone is just blind or stupid. Anyway, let's move on here. It's so freaking crazy. All right, so we have the Royal Family Talk here. Whew, I'm glad we got that out of the way. That was stressful. Every time I talk about anything that has anything to do political, I'll be seriously over here sweating because it's just that much pressure to talk about, for real. Okay, so Prince Harry is in court. Isn't he handsome? He is so handsome. I just wish he'd do something with the hair. You know what I mean? Do something with the hair. Just something with the hair. I'm just saying. It's got to be some Rogaine or something, you know. I don't think he'll look right like his brother. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, Meghan Markle, come on, girl. You got to do something. Help the brother. Help him, okay? He is. He's very handsome. He is. He is. He could get it. Yeah. All right, so Prince Harry's in court in London, and he told the judge that for years he wasn't allowed to speak up about the tabloids invading his privacy because the royal family follows a strict no talking, never complain, never explain rule, whatever. He said the press used shading, even illegal methods to get information about him, Meghan, and people close to him. Things like hacking voicemails and tracking private flights. Harry explained that this constant intrusion made him paranoid and put a huge strain on his relationships. And he's finally speaking out because he feels the tabloids cause real harm. You think? It also been revealed that it was the royal family who was the leak. I guess that would explain them constantly avoiding him and they are not able to have eye contact because they are the ones who leaked the information. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. That's got to be seriously a heart-drenching. But I think Prince Harry already knew already. So I feel that this wasn't, oh my gosh, I'm just not finding this. So I think he kind of knew in the back of his mind that his family was the leak. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. All right, here are some clips.
For hours. What are the tactics?
Oh, by the way, you guys gonna be hearing me sipping some tea. I'm sipping my night tea. I drink night tea every night. I drink night tea, so you're gonna hear me sipping some tea. Sorry about that.
Like here, from a legal point of view.
Yeah.
For hours. Rory, what are the tactics at play here from a legal point of view?
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot has been made of the fact that yesterday Anthony White Casey for Associated Newspapers was supposed to do opening statements for 2 days, and he only did 2 hours, which pushed Prince Harry into the box a day early. And this is a technique that can be used to try and rattle a witness. And then today, interesting that they only cross-examined Harry for 2 hours. Now, in my experience, if you have a witness on the ropes, you keep going. He was due to be cross-examined for a day, and they took him out. They pulled him early because I think Harry was doing well, actually. Now, I think what a lot of people think about Harry is that he's a playboy and he's not very bright, but actually, he's
smart.
Intelligent, he's articulate, he's genuine, he comes across genuinely, and also he knows these issues inside out. He's lived this case, and that makes, in my experience, for a very compelling witness. And I think that although there were no hammer blows landed by either side today, I think Harry held up well enough that they thought, this is damaging to us. And he said a few things. For example, he said, I feel like they were trying to drive me to drink and drugs to make more press. He talked about the misery inflicted on Meghan and started choking up. This is the kind of emotional stuff that cuts through to the public. And I think maybe there was a tactical decision by Associated's lawyers that this isn't going well, we should pull him out early so he doesn't do any more damage.
Now, this is the UK talking this way. So there has been a shift in the UK media in pertaining to, which is weird because they are the ones who's supporting this, but I guess certain media stations are changing gears like, hold up, this is not right. I'm going to go ahead and let that ride. All right, here's more information from UK.
remarks by Donald Trump and how that's going down in the UK. There's a statement from Prince Harry. If I can read it out to you, this is also extraordinary. Prince Harry says this: in 2001, NATO invoked Article 5 for the first and only time in history. That meant that every allied nation was obliged to stand with the United States in Afghanistan in pursuit of our shared security. Allies answered that call. Prince Harry goes on: I served there. I made lifelong friends there, and I lost friends there. The United Kingdom alone had 457 service personnel killed. Thousands of lives were changed forever. Mothers and fathers buried sons and daughters. Children were left without a parent. Families are left carrying the costs. Those sacrifices deserve to be spoken about truthfully and with respect, as we all remain united and loyal to the defense of diplomacy and peace. That is extraordinary. That is Prince Harry, who fought in Afghanistan, who lost friends, served with friends who died in Afghanistan, frankly giving it back to Donald Trump. Donald Trump overnight, of course, attacking NATO for some reason that NATO troops stayed back a little during those 2 decades of fighting. That has deeply offended the families of those 457 British troops who died and hundreds more injured, many of them seriously, amputees and the like. The PM has said in the past 3 hours it's insulting and frankly appalling.
It is very, very. And I'm surprised that these individuals are even talking this positive, considering not too long ago they was just Meghan Markle they're always talking this negative about. Oh, you are? Okay, cool. He is more like his mother in essence and likability in his bald-headed brother. I know, right? I know. Wow, so true. I'm going to be real with you. I hope that he wins this case. I really do. I didn't know they were leaking and tapping into phones. I wonder if they do that to normal people and not just, people like Prince Harry. I'm just curious. All right, let's move on to King Charles. Ooh, what picture did I get? I know I got this picture. I'm going to be real with you. I just got a picture because it looked interesting. All right, anyway. So King Charles, here's an update on alleged King Charles cancer scare, which I don't think he has. King Charles shared that his cancer treatment is going well, and doctors are seeing enough progress that he can start scaling back. He used the moment to encourage people to get checked early, saying early diagnosis saves lives. This update also means his public schedule may slowly increase again as he continues recovering. If you guys, believe that he's even recovering from cancer, I don't believe that he's doing that, but this is what the UK is saying. I don't think he's literally going through this whole little cancer thing. I think him and Kate lied their asses off, but that's just my interpretation. If they are, it goes as follows. But I'm just saying, I'm just going by facts. For him to be his age, he has not lost his hair. He has not lost any weight. He just looked like a man who's getting older and has white hair. There are no signs of cancer at all. And then Kate talking about preventable cancer treatments. What the fuck is preventable cancer treatments when you never, never mind. I'm done. I can't deal with these people. These people are the most con artists people on the face of this earth. But, whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the next slide here. Let's talk about Prince Andrew. Oh, thank you. None at all. I don't know where that picture came from. I don't know where I got that picture from. I'm real with you. I had no idea where I got that picture from. Okay, so we have Prince Andrew, final titles removed. And it's been told that King Charles is not behind it. He's behind it. William is behind it. That's what was told. King Charles was probably going to let, Prince Andrew, his brother, go ahead and, do what, not, and just not say a damn thing in honor of his mother or whatever. Because, Prince Andrew was Queen Elizabeth's baby, little baby. That was her baby. That was her baby. That was her boo-boo. He can do no wrong. The media was lying. He didn't do that to that girl. That girl is lying. This is a manhunt. She saw this is a manhunt. This is a manhunt. Prince Andrew has always been a darling. He has never, ever done anything wrong. This preposterous, complete rubbish. So that's what the late Queen Elizabeth used to say about her boo-boo, her dukuka. Unbelievable. So King Charles has officially, of course, isn't King Charles' name, but he has not done it. King Charles has officially stripped Prince Andrew of his last remaining royal and military titles because of Andrew's long-standing ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Now they do that when the initiation happened. The girl had to die, whatever. Buckingham Palace also confirmed that Andrew has to move out of the Royal Lodge, the mansion he lived in for years. From now on, he'd go by, I guess he'd stay at the Andrew Mountbatten Windsor or something, marking one of the biggest royal demotions in modern history. Yeah, sure. I believe him when I see it. I don't care about him. I'll be real with you. I don't care. I just don't care. All right, so let's talk about celeb gossip. Hold on. I think I have a little thing for celeb gossip. Let me see if I can pull it. I load it up here. Here. You're blinded by the action. You need that. A little something. Let me quit. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Will and Jada reunion at the Jada and Louis Vuitton line. She got some nice shoes. I mean, if I can afford it, I might have to get a pair. Anyways, because I love Louis Vuitton shoes. Now, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett stepped out together in Paris. 2 days ago, during Paris Fashion Week to support their son Jada's new Christian Louis Vuitton capsule collection. They arrived side by side, posing for pictures that look all happy, stylish, united. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. Okay, so it's put it like this: them having this united family reunion. It definitely stood out because they've openly said they've been separated since 2016, which means no bump in the sheets, no rump pump. Let's do the. Now I don't know if Jada is not doing anything because she looked like she probably would get hers in. I'm just saying. And Will, I don't know what the hell Will doing either because Will, he's a Libra and a Scorpio. Scorpios, they down for whatever. So I don't know what the hell is going on with these two. They have a very strange marriage. Okay, so even though their relationship has been unconventional and very public, they always show up for their kids, which they should, because that's their babies. This appearance was a reminder that no matter what's going on privately, the Smith moves on. I have to say this. They move on as family when it matters. Okay, I have to say this. When I saw them together, I did see the love in Will Smith's eyes. So Will Smith is still in love with Jada. He is still in love with this woman. And he must be still in love with her because you haven't seen him with any other women, and I've been watching this little documentary and he's traveling all over the world. He don't look sexually frustrated, but then again, he's a great actor. So how can you tell that from just, edited material? But I'm just saying. Now, Jada, she don't look like she's lacking in the area at all. I don't know if she has toys or whatever, but I'm just saying, I saw her and she looks fine. But maybe it's just my interpretations. But here's what they're saying. They're saying the sources describe the moment as a rare joint appearance because they showed up together before they were out doing something. I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure when. But then this is like the main brutal where, press and stuff and they're dressed up. So they, popping up every now and then doing something. Anyway, so they definitely doing a supportive family moment and apparently they're going into a cooperative phase, for their grown-ass kids. So, yes, they were united publicly, and it was a big deal. It was all over the media, and then people started talking about that sex scandal from that lying-ass dude. But anyway, here are some clips. I thought she had vitiligo. Not vitiligo. I'm so sorry. What's the name of that stuff, you guys? You have no hair? I forgot what it's called. Pro whatever. I forgot the name of it. But I thought she's supposed to have that condition. I have to pause this because I don't know if that's copyrighted. See, Jada does not look like she have whatever that condition she said she had for bald people. That is a damn lie. Let me see that video again. Alopecia. Alopecia. Yes, thank you. I could not think of the name. I swear, alopecia. Yes. Alopecia my ass. Alopecia my ass. She he said he talked to a screen. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I wish other people who be viewing correct me too. They just be letting me sound like a fool. I hate that. Anyway, here's more videos. I think they're cute for you, man. I think these are cute.
Christian Louboutin show. I'm very, very proud. It's a little overwhelming.
Why is he wearing glasses? He doesn't wear glasses.
Proud daddy.
They're cute though. I gotta admit, they don't look bad. They don't look bad.
Man, big shout out to Willow, man, Willow Smith. Now, you know, Willow Smith is, a lot of people didn't, his career was gonna be that.
What is he talking about?
Successful after that song that he got with his dad, you know what I mean? And he managed to find ways to always relevate himself. And you know, Will Smith, I can honestly say proud of him. From starting as an actor on his dad film to start rapping and getting into fashion. Actually, people were looking at him funny when he got to start with Louis Vuitton. And to see where he is at now, and now to be able to partner with Christian Louis Vuitton, designing for them.
That is a really good thing.
It's not their brand, but I'm sure it's like one of those partnerships where, because he's probably gonna be a creative director for this kind of line, he's gonna get a percentage cut from any sales from those items. It's just amazing, and it's all started with what's her name, Sean John.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
And Rockaware, because they make it cool to wear.
Anyway, the point of the matter is, what is he talking about? Well, he's talking about that it's, just to paraphrase, it's a very big deal that he's teaming up with Christian Louis Vuitton to do this, and something about Rockaware or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, it is a really good thing. I like the shoes. I think they're really cute. I won't buy it because they're apparently just for men, but they don't look bad. They don't look bad at all. I think they'll sell. That is really good. I'm so happy for Jada. That is very good. Very good. Very good. Oh, wow. All right, let's go on with the next slide here. Because I talk about my boy Chris Brown here. Okay, Chris Brown was recently seen in Paris and it caused the buzz. Chris Brown was spotted in Paris during Paris Fashion Week. Yeah, where designers were showing their autumn-winter 2026 to 2027 collections. He was photographed out and about, drawing attention simply because of the timing. He's in the middle of a major legal headlines too. So any public appearance is making noise because, you know, I think some fashion label or something is suing him for $500 million. And we all know who's behind that whole malarkey, don't we? We know who's behind that, okay? So on top of that, another clip went viral as well. Him leaving a Paris hotel with a group of women which sparked online speculation about his personal life or whether he's dating someone new. Reports suggest one of the women may be Jada Wallace, who's rumored to be his new girlfriend. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I don't really know. So let me just sum it up here. To sum it up, Chris Brown has been out and about in Paris for Fashion Week, and people are talking about it because he was seen leaving a hotel with several women, including one rumored to be his new girlfriend, Jada Wallace, who is an Aquarius, by the way. Jada Wallace is Aquarius. I did look it up. With everything going on in his legal life, this public appearance instantly went viral and had fans speculating about his love life and if she's pregnant and a whole bunch of stupid stuff. Here's a clip. Oh, by the way, her being Aquarius will have a cosmic attraction toward her in theory, because we are in the age of Aquarius. So he's probably cosmically attracted. They're probably cosmically attracted to one another because, as I stated before, we're in the age of Aquarius, opposite Aquarius, Leo. And then, of course, there's because you even though you go straight across, but you also go horizontal as well. So, and that is Taurus and Scorpio. So they also get affected by his age as well. And we all know Chris Brown is a Taurus. So there's definitely going to be a cosmic attraction between the two. Although I won't technically put an Aquarius with Taurus, but they seem to be pretty good friends. My daughter's a Taurus and we get along perfectly fine, but it could be because I'm her mother, but I think we get along fine. But take a look at this. They're saying she's pregnant or something. I don't know. Smiling because you know I know. I have to mute that because I don't know if it's copyrighted. Does he like, dark-skinned girls? Because he seems to like these light-skinned, mixed-looking chicks. He looked nice. He look nice. He look like a really civilized man. Is that the look he's going for? A civilized man or something? They supposed to be a couple, but they're not looking like a couple. I mean, he was walking ahead of her. Check this out. I'll mute it because I don't know if that's copyrighted. See, she's back there. So don't you supposed to hold your couple hand, your girl hand? So I don't know if they're a couple. I think she just a +1 or something. Is that his baby mama? Because I think he's trying to be like Diddy, just having his kids by one woman, even though you're not technically together, but she's the baby machine or some shit like that. I wonder if that's what's going on with him and this girl. I don't know. I don't know who his baby mama is. I don't follow Chris Brown like that. I mean, he's way too young for me. But I'm just saying. Are you leaving me, girl? You can't leave me. No. You got to stay up. You got to stay up. You got to stay up. I still got more show to go. But here. Let me read this. See, he's not even holding her hand. They're not acting like a couple. I don't know what they're talking about. They are not acting like a couple. I think she's just a +1 or something. He looked very civilized from the normal way he dresses, like he's still in high school.
Chris definitely has a type. Word on the street is that his boo Jada Wallace is pregnant with his 4th child. Headlines began swirling that Jada might be with child after she was spotted with Chris at the 2026 Amiri show in Paris. They were trying to clock her, and that the scarf was trying to hide her belly, along with her using her purse to hide her stomach. Something I found interesting is while at the event, a waiter walked up to them offering them champagne, and they both refused. I don't know. She's typically a petite girl. I'm not in her uterus, and I am not a doctor. Just what the girls are saying, so don't attack me. Those of you guys who are unaware, Jill Wallace is a model, and she has been linked to Chris Brown since about late 2024. December of 2024, they were spotted leaving a party together in South Africa, and then when Chris Brown was released from jail in Manchester recently, she was actually there in the UK to pick him up. That happened at the Forest Bank prison in May of 2025, so that got me thinking that they might be a little more serious than we think. Now, she was spotted at multiple Breezy Bowl tour stops. This entire video is just speculation. I'm curious to know what y'all think regarding that. I previously stated Chris Brown definitely has a type if she is pregnant. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
Yes, I'm saying he definitely has a type. He likes these mixed, light-skinned girls. He don't like a sister. He don't want no sister. He want a, light-skinned girl. A mixed girl like he's mixed. He's mixed with white and black, so it is what it is. I'm disappointed I'm too brown for brown. I know, right? She do look young. She look like she's in her 20s. Chris Brown is in his 30s. Yeah, definitely look young, but whatever, it is what it is. All right, so let's move on here. Let's move on here. That's his business. Let's knock out these blind items here. Okay, so we have blind item number one. Blind item number one is Britney Spears. Okay. We have a blind item of Britney Spears. Not only has the permanent A-list singer been walking around naked in front of her son's friend, apparently she is sleeping with one of them too. So she's sleeping with one of her son's friends. Her son's friends are young. They're not in their 30s or whatever age. They're young boys. So yeah, just want to make sure you guys understand that. So here's what the article said. Okay, it says Britney Spears shared a new video of herself dancing at home, but the clip caused a stir because her top fell down for a moment, exposing more than she intended. She quickly adjusted it, but viewers noticed the whole video felt rushed, messy, and a little chaotic. Fans flooded the comments saying they were worried about her, while others said people were overacting and that Britney was just being Britney. The moment went viral mainly because of the wardrobe slip and an ongoing conversation about her mental and emotional state. So they're saying that she's acting weird. I think she's just acting like she normally acts. She is weird. She's been performing since she was a little grasshopper. So I think she's just being her normal weird self. I keep telling people they need to stop comparing their ideal of normalcy to her or to these celebrities' ideal of normalcy, because they grew up in the spotlight around Hollywooders and their ideal of normal is not like ours. So if she's acting like this, is because that's what she used to. She got no ass. I tell you right now, she has no ass at all. None. So she shouldn't be showing her ass, but that's what she want to show, her nasty ass. That's fine, but she don't have ass. I'm going to put that shit on out there. Move right along here. Okay, so here's blind item number two. Okay, there's a blind item here. It is pretty tough to continue. This is what the blind item says about Kendall Jenner, apparently, in her plastic surgery or whatever the hell she's talking about. It says here, it is pretty tough to continue to say you haven't had any work done when there is literally a building guard on TikTok talking about just how often all members of the reality family will visit a plastic surgery. So there's members and staff members of this plastic surgery that said that Kardashians are frequent visitors to this plastic surgeon. So they get, occasional touch-ups and tucks and injections on a regular basis, but they're claiming that they're all natural. And Kendall Jenner says she hasn't had any plastic surgery. Here's what the article said. Kendall Jenner shut down rumors about having plastic surgery, saying she's never had any work done and that people forget she grew up in front of the camera and naturally changed as she got older. She also addressed the constant speculation about her sexuality, saying she's straight but understands why people make assumptions because she's always been more reserved and tomboyish compared to her sisters. Kendall said she's learned to ignore the noise and focus on living her life without trying to prove anything to anyone. I didn't even know she was being called bisexual, and quite frankly, I don't give a damn. But anyway, I don't think she had a nose job. I think her nose looked the same. I don't think she had anything done to her face. That I can honestly say. But I do think she had a boob job. I don't think she had anything done to her face, but I do think she had a boob job. You said the only one that ain't never had surgery is Robert Kardashian. I know, right? He need to use Ozempic. He do need to get Ozempic, I'm telling you. You see her lips? Yes, yeah. I can see. Yeah, look like she may have a little injection. Not a lot. Look like she may have a little injection. A little, maybe. Or she got her lips plump doing other things. You get your lips plump doing other things too. So we don't know. Okay, so here's line item number 3. And I have been saying this for a long time. I'm finally glad that Sierra finally woke the fuck up. Here's blind item about Sierra and Russell Wilson. I can't even say that. Try to say that fast 5 times. Russell Wilson. Now, the singer is convinced her soon-to-be retired NFL quarterback husband is keeping her from sex she wants. You think? I've been saying this how long? Dumbass girl. I'm gonna call her dumb, but she acts so naive sometimes. I'm a huge fan of Sierra, but she acts naive sometimes. Seriously. She's still in the storybook romance. Sierra surprised fans by joining a viral Instagram trend where people post old photos from 2016, and she shared a rare throwback of herself. This is what the article said. From that era. The picture instantly blew up because fans couldn't believe how little she aged and how effortlessly stylish she looked, even back then. The post also sparked nostalgia for her early days with Russell Wilson. Since 2016 was the year the relationship became public and really took off, people flooded the comments saying she looks exactly the same and calling her one of the most timeless women in entertainment. So they're saying she definitely looked gorgeous, but they're saying her career has been kind of stagnant, even though she has some hit and misses. But every time she get ready to go on tour, Russell wants a baby, if you haven't noticed that. Yeah, true. That's true. That's true. Oh, I love her. I love Sierra too. But every time she wants to go on tour, he wants a baby. Anytime she's trying to make a big career move, he wants a baby. It's kind of weird, man. I could be dealing with that. Quite frankly, if I was her, I'd go ahead and get my tubes tied or whatever. He won't be getting no more goddamn kids out of me. Okay, so blind item number 4. Okay, here is another blind item about Sean Combs, even though he said his name, but we know that's him. Mommy Dearest, I think we already know this color rapper is an awful person. It gets way worse than what you see on the outside. He targets fans that they are from unstable homes. So any fans from unstable homes are really close to being out on the streets, and then promise them a lavish lifestyle before passing them out to his friends like candy. If they do something they displeases him, or if they didn't try hard enough for his friends, he beats them. He then gives them one more chance. If they mess up again, he beats them and gives them to a real street pimp. That is bad enough, but what makes it even worse is that his mom is out there recruiting for him. She wants to fully support her son in demon ways, and it's not Chris Brown. So Sean Combs' mom allegedly has been recruiting for him, getting little girls or young women who's in, bad households, and then sell. Well, you get the drift. Pretty much what he's been doing for years, and his mama should get investigated and go to jail. Send her ass to jail too. That would literally plummet his entire empire. I'm just going to say that. Okay, here's another blind item here. It has been many years and the mainstream media never would touch whose children are in the center photos on the billionaire's pedophile's private jet. Linked to center photo of a child and photos of CDs with her name written on them. It was a video that's going viral on TikTok where this girl name was all over them DVDs. And they don't know later, they were like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? But apparently this girl here that Jeffrey Epstein is apparently obsessed with, was one of the children, Selena Dubin. Apparently this child here, was older. The billionaire pedophile was even contemplating marriage plans with her. At the elite level, mothers trading their children. She traded her daughter to Jeffrey Epstein, and he was going to marry her. So, yeah, a mother pimped her daughter to Jeffrey Epstein for $1. Just want to make sure you guys understand the grotesque of the situation. Now, at the elite levels, mothers trading their children like Pokemon cards just seem to be par for the course. So this apparently is a very known thing in Hollywood. Now, here's what the article said, though. This article right here. Court documents revealed that Jeffrey Epstein once talked about the idea of marrying the 24-year-old daughter of his longtime friends, Glenn and Eva Dubbin. Epstein reportedly told people that marrying her would help him repair his reputation after his first conviction. So after his first conviction, he was thinking about marrying this young ass girl because her mom sold him to her. So yeah. So the Dubbins have strongly denied that their daughter was ever romantically involved, even though her names is all over the tapes and they have gazillion pictures together. But these fools claim they were never involved. Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, so they claim nothing whatsoever that she was romantically involved with Epstein or that it was such a marriage was ever considered seriously. The detail came out as part of the newly unsealed files that continue to show how Epstein tried to use his local social connections to protect himself and rebuild his public image. So he was trying to marry this girl because they sold their daughter, this girl here, to Jeffrey Epstein after he got convicted the first time, but they're denying it now. Even though it's so much evidence, they should really go to jail. But she was grown at the time. I don't know. The point of the matter is they should go to jail. But whatever. They probably won't, but they should. Okay, then we have Jennifer Lawrence Schooling. This young, gorgeous girl right here. Here's another blind item here. Blind item number 6. It says the student, this actress A-list, she didn't even graduate from high school. She didn't even get a GED. Oh, she has some fake things she got online from some company that she says, that says she has one, but it isn't real. Her family wanted her to make money and make more of it. So figure out a way to pretend the kid was taking classes without actually taking classes. The studios didn't really care because they were making all this money. And then, of course, she had her special producer friends who made sure to cover the thing up. I don't really care that she didn't graduate high school or that she lies about it. What I care about is that she was underage and her parents were fine with her spending time with these perv producers just so the family can make more money. I think this is the reason why she had trouble adjusting to getting older and not being the huge star she was. She has been replaced by other actresses that are homeschooled. You know what I mean? This is Jennifer Lawrence, who got pretty much sit out there before her time, and her parents basically pimped her. Just want to point that out. And had her a bunch of pedos and pervs in Hollywood so she can make money. So she was being pimped by her parents at a young age, making all kinds of money at a very young age for her parents. And they didn't even care if she didn't have no education or nothing of the matter, long as she made them money. So now she's basically trying to make up for lost time, acting like a kid. She's a grown-ass woman. And, and that probably messed with her intelligence. So a really sad thing, but it happens in Hollywood. Now, this is what this article says. Jennifer Lawrence opened up about dropping out of school as a teenager, saying she knew deep down that acting was her purpose and nothing else made sense for her. She explained that she wasn't interested in traditional education. She didn't feel connected to school life and felt a strong pull toward for performing, even though her parents were worried. Jennifer says she pushed hard to convince them to let her try acting full time. And looking back, she believes trusting her instincts at such a young age is what changed her life and career. So she's trying to backpedal and saying that her parents were completely manipulating her. This was her decision as well. She convinced them. The point of the matter is they all knew better. Okay, then we have Kim Kardashian Northwest. Okay, apparently here's another blind item about Kim Kardashian Northwest. The crazy thing is that this offspring of A-lister used to go to school, but it was taking too much time away from her getting famous, which is why mom pulled her out of school. Northwest / Kim Kardashian, Kanye West. Okay, here's what the article says. This article claims that Kim Kardashian, daughter Northwest, she'd been skipping school, okay, because she's so focused on her music career, with sources saying her 12-year-old has been rapping, recording, and traveling instead of attending classes regularly. The report suggests Kim is letting North explore her creative side and isn't pushing traditional schooling as hard, which has sparked debate online about whether North is too young to be prioritizing fame over education. Fans are split, with some saying she's just following her passion, others worried she's missing out on a normal childhood. First of all, Northwest would never have a normal childhood. I keep telling you, stop comparing these Hollywood kids to your ideal of normalcy. she would never have a normal childhood. Ever. She would never have a normal childhood. Ever. Their idea of normal is completely different from ours. Here's a clip.
She is homeschooled, and a lot of it is me helping her do a lot of the teachings and the things that we do, but we do a lot of realistic courses, things that she's really into. Math, we'll give budget, we'll go around and we'll get stuff and we'll add it all up and subtract it all, and she has a brand building class. It's like an actual course and a curriculum.
Interactive learning than
fully interactive learning. And so she had an idea of making hats and making jewelry and all the things she wanted to make. So we made it a course, and she has to do the web design, and she has to do the budgeting, and she has to go to the stores and get materials and sewing. And we do like full fashion courses. And she goes to, in the summer, it's like to FIT in New York.
I'm glad that she's pursuing her daughter's career. That's a good thing, but make sure she get a full-blown education. Maybe take her to design school or something like that. Make sure she gets an education, but I'm happy that she's supporting her daughter and her dreams. That's a very good thing. I wish I had that at her age. Okay, so here's the last blind item here. Here is another blind item about Bill Gates. The wealthy farmer now has, the wealthy farmer who is the king of bioengineered food, and he was allegedly behind the whole COVID thing, and he always experimenting with drugs. He trying to allegedly depopulate the world, and he got pretty much banned in Africa for doing experiments on their citizens down there. So yeah, Bill Gates has been rumored to be a genocidal maniac who think he's a scientist. Not only is he behind Microsoft, but he think he a scientist, and there's a lot of other dark crap that's been going on about this sick man that no one seemed to be getting into. Okay, because he's doing all these weird goddamn experiments and no one's saying a jack crap. Someone needs to really go in his backyard and do so. He's not a scientist. He never went to school for any of this crap. Okay, he's not a bioengineer. He's just a rich ass man who's bored and decides to do experiments on humans and foods and anything else he needs to do experiments on because he's a freaking crazy psychopath and no one's fucking stopping him. And now this SOB, this wealthy farmer, now has the backing of the U.S. government for his experiments on people. See, I told you guys about this years ago and how this nation took his money, but now he has a U.S. government helping him. Now he's really going to implement his plan on freaking depopulating the freaking United States because he thinks he's God. This is freaking ridiculous. Now he has a U.S. approval to depopulate the world. Unfreaking believable. This is fucking crazy. You don't even need a degree anymore. So people who went to years to become a bioengineer, they probably had to take a backseat for this rich man who's experimenting like some little boy. Unfreaking believable. I am so pissed off right now. I gotta go on because this is pissing me off. This is bullshit. Okay, last segment of the show. I was gonna do a true crime, but I don't feel like it. Okay, my favorite part of the show. I need to develop an intro, a brain food intro or something. He is a serious genocidal maniac, but they just let him do anything. I don't know what his problem is. Okay, so here is my favorite segment of the show. This is called Brain Food. All right, y'all, let's go on a little journey together. We're about to talk about some things. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of these TikTok videos where people are talking to trees. Hear me out. And people are just laying down but can't talk. You can listen to me as a podcast. I don't care. And then you come back tomorrow when you're awake and go ahead and listen to me again while you cleaning the house or whatever the hell you do. I don't fucking care. But make sure you comment and let me know what y'all think about the video. Okay? Here's my favorite part of the entire show, aside from politics. Politics and these two are my favorite segments. I wish I could do a show on just this and true crime. That'd be great, but I can't. People seem to like my comments about celebrities. But anyway, long story. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of these TikTok videos where people are talking to trees, asking them to touch their cheek, touch their shoulder, lean in, lean back. And the wild part is that trees actually do it. They actually fucking do it. Not 5 minutes later, not randomly, but right when the person asks. And it literally makes you question the scientific theory that trees don't understand what you say. Because that's what scientists say, right? There's a theory on that I have later. Here are some clips because I got several clips.
When you walk into a trail, when you walk into a forest, if you pay attention, you'll see trees that expose their roots very early on in the trails or in places where a lot of trees are present. These are your gatekeeper trees. These are the trees that tell the rest of the tree community who is coming into the space. You see the roots? Take a look at the roots. They usually will grow into the trails. You'll usually have to cross over them. And it's not uncommon if they don't want you here to accidentally trip over their roots. These trees, the gatekeeper trees, communicate to the rest of the forest. And here's the thing about the gatekeeper trees. They don't make the decision whether or not how you're going to be handled or dealt with in the forest. The gatekeeper tree communicates to the other trees, but there is a more mother type tree that determines how your experience in the forest, the woods, the mountains is going to be. Okay? So make sure that you are respectful to the gatekeeper tree when you're walking into the mountains and you're on the trails. Let's go. I fell on a gatekeeper tree. I'll show you the footage of where I fell. What the fuck? Oh shit, we didn't piss somebody off. Be nice to us. I said be nice to us.
Okay, so the trees where their roots are out like this are the gatekeeper trees. I just thought their roots were just out because, there's no room in the dirt. I never really studied trees before, I should though. Oh yeah, they definitely do understand us. Definitely. I haven't really experimental. I'm gonna experiment talking to a tree. I'm gonna actually film it. I might even go live with you guys. And let you see me talk to a tree if I'm brave enough to do that. I heard they do scatter across the forest. I do. Yes, they do. Definitely better. Yep. You should. Definitely. Yes, I heard. Yes, my mom, she used to talk to her plants too. She was a really good plant lover. Yeah. My late mother. All right, so I have more videos too.
Let me tell y'all how I know trees can talk to you. They can communicate telepathically with you. So y'all know, if y'all watch my content, that I sit by my tree all the time and I get downloads and messages and I record. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, what is your name, tree? In my mind, I'm thinking that, what is your name? So then the name Sylvia comes to mind. I'm like, Sylvia, that's pretty. Okay, so you're a female. Okay. So that stuck in my head for the past few days or whatever. Sylvia. To the point where I'm like, okay, let me look up Sylvia. What's the root meaning of Sylvia? So when I did my research, I found out that Sylvia in Latin means forest, woodland, grove, or trees. Also meaning the spirit of the forest. From the forest, she of the forest, right? Wow. Mother Nature. Makes sense. The tree identifying with its essence was not coincidental, obviously. Okay? Forest consciousness. Let me tell y'all why we need to be talking to these trees immediately. You tell them trees everything that you're going through, okay? So it was giving me a reminder that the tree is a part of a larger forest spirit lineage, even if it's standing alone. A personal name that carries the universal archetype of nature's feminine wisdom. Woodland beings, spirits, and landscapes. So wood in spiritual traditions is a living memory keeper. Now, I wonder why they just like to tear down trees and make paper and shit. Trees hold records of time, lineage, and energy. So in essence, what the name Sylvia was saying and what the tree spirit was communicating to me was, call me by my true nature, which is that of the forest, which is that of the spirit of the forest. They're all connected. All of these trees are connected underground. They're connected by their roots. So what that tells me is we need to be paying more attention and speaking more to the trees. I don't care if you got a branch with a few leaves hanging off of it. If it's connected to the ground, find you a tree and talk to that tree and tell that tree everything that you're going through, everything that this government is doing, everything that you know is wrong that's going on in this 3D reality, because I think, and I really feel that being as though that the trees hold memory and lineage and have a forest consciousness, okay, that nature will begin to move in our favor. It's nothing these militaries, governments, secret societies could do to stop nature. They can't do shit with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my water by this tree, because thank you, tree.
Aww.
Oh my God, look, I'll be out here leaving fruit and everything. I mean, thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you, Sylvia. Oh, that's so cute. That was beautiful. Now, I never tested the water theory before, but that's something I would test. And you said, but not in the way trees do. It's like they have our ancestors' energy. I know, right? Like have like living physical vessel they can inhabit it without pushback. Something to think about. Yeah, definitely something to think about. Yeah. No, ignore that. Anyway, so here's my theory on that. Okay. Now, I do understand the young lady in terms of true, definitely true. She has a gift. I never, let me see how can I word this, because there are so many things I want to say. Okay, first of all, we had a tree in our backyard, but it was hollow in the middle and the squirrels are using it as their own personal home. The branch was just falling off. My husband liked the tree. I mean, he loved the tree. And the squirrels too. He's a very weird man. But I was thinking, like, I feel that we should put the tree out of its misery because the branch was just falling off and was hollow and it looked like it was suffering. And I'm thinking, I didn't want to, because I love nature. I really do. I love nature. But so we got the tree cut down, and it turns out it was an oak tree or something like that. And I felt bad because I really didn't want to take down the tree, but it was hollow and the squirrels were infesting it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm sure this tree's sick of these squirrels screwing it up, you know? But anyway, and it was something really strange because when they cut down a tree, it was cement under the tree. And they never told me what was under the ground with this tree. They just kind of just didn't give me any more theories behind that. All I know, it was hard to cut it. You know, I don't know if someone poured cement inside the tree, but it was hard to cut it down. And that was all they told me about that. I ain't even decide to even investigate or wanted to investigate, because at the time I was so busy, had a lot going on, and I really did not care. But that has always been in the back of my mind to figure out what the fuck was and why was cement poured down inside of the tree, and what the hell is in the ground in my backyard. I've been meaning to figure that out. I'm going to look into that when I get a chance. Anyway, moving right along here. So this literally made me think. But before I go into deep thought, I do have a lot to say. I really do, because I have to get deep with this, because there is some historical information that I want to share with you guys. You know me. This is my favorite section, and the sister goes deep. So here are more videos of people testing it, and they are very beautiful videos. Like I told you, I'm going to test it in the near future. It may be live or recorded live. I'm a really planner. I don't like going live. You know, I like to plan live, but we'll see. Primarily because I get a lot of threats, and I reserve my privacy, and I'm not trying to expose too much of myself because people are crazy. I talk about politics, and a lot of racist people will love to do me in, for real. But here is more clips of people trying the power of trees.
We're going to test out this talking tree thing. Let's see what happens. Hi, tree. I love you.
I know we just met, but I really love you. And if you can hear me, touch my nose. If you can hear me, touch my nose.
Look it. Are you watching this? You guys see that?
If you can hear me and understand me, touch my cheek. If you can hear me and understand. Wow.
Oh my gosh. You guys see that? Oh my gosh. Yes. Scientifically, this is physically impossible, but here's some more videos.
Okay, baby, so if you can hear me, touch my cheek. Come on. I'm going to close my eyes. I want you to touch my cheek.
It's like tree trying, like I'm trying. Oh my gosh. I'm noticing the race of these people who are doing this. Interesting. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. That's beautiful. I haven't tested this theory. You said I've been touched by trees before without talking to him, or the when they were pushing me out of the trail, and it truly saved me. Really? I could be locked up. Really? Wow. I have seen strange things with trees that save lives, like a branch thrown in a path, and it turned out that path was not a path to go down to. Oh yes. I've seen strange things. If you really kind to nature, they will be kind to you. Right now, they're pissed, and we know why they're pissed too. Certain president screwing up their home. You said this was in Philadelphia last spring. Really? Oh my. Okay. Now here's what I gotta say. So I hope you guys are ready. Okay. Now I'm just gonna talk over this picture, so there's no more videos. You guys can put down your phone and just listen to me. Okay, listen to my voice. All right, now this made me think, because the first thing people say is, "Oh, that's just the wind. Oh, that's just the coincidence. Oh, trees can't hear you. They don't have ears. How can they hear you? You guys look foolish talking to a tree. What is wrong with you guys?" And I'm like, says who? And they say science. The same science that once said animals don't feel pain. Remember, a long time ago, they said animals weren't able to feel pain. Look it up. I'm being honest. The same science that said plants don't communicate because they don't have ears. How can they hear? How can they hear? They don't have ears. The same science that said invisible microbes didn't exist until they invented a tool to see them. These are the same scientists who said this. Yes, science is powerful, but it's not complete. You discover things all the time. You discover things every day. There's always some new discovery. Science can only measure what its tools are built to detect. So if their tools are not built to detect this kind of reaction, how can they validate anything? So when science asks, can trees hear? They look for human things like ears, eardrums, nerves, a brain. And because trees don't have those, the conclusion becomes trees can't hear. But that's only true if you define hearing the way humans do. Because here's what we do know. Trees respond to vibration. Trees respond to sound wave. Trees respond to touch, pressure, energy, and presence. Trees communicate underground through massive fungal networks, what they call it, the wood wide web. That's WOD, wide web. They warn each other. They share nutrients. They recognize their own offspring. So if a tree can sense its neighbors, if it can respond to stress, if it can adjust to touch, if it can communicate across the forest, why is it so impossible to believe it can sense us? Maybe not our words, maybe not our sentences, maybe, who knows? But our presence, our vibration, our intentions, absolutely. Now, here's a deeper truth, because humans can't measure something yet. Here's the thing, what really annoys me, and I'm going to backtrack here, because scientists, humans, if they can't measure something, they say it isn't real. If they can't make a scientific conclusion on why it exists, it's not real. It can't be real. You guys look stupid. I mean, that's literally what some people are saying. You said I'm very connected spiritually with myself, nature, including water and universe. I connect them all. I'm a Capricorn. Oh, I love meditation, seriously. Capricorn, that means you are work driven. Someone gives you a task, you complete that task the full amount of your ability, like tunnel vision, getting it complete. Your work ethic is insane. I've been meaning to do that. Going barefoot, I've been meaning to do that, really. Okay. As I was saying, and it's the question, just because humans can't measure something doesn't mean it's real. If you only believe what science can prove, then this consider that theory. Because if you can only prove what science can prove, in terms of trees and anything else, okay, then cool. Then faith wouldn't exist. Miracles wouldn't exist. Prophecies wouldn't exist. Spiritual encounters would exist. Oh, and here's the big kukra. And Yeshua / Jesus would have been dismissed as a simple rumor if that was the case, because you can't scientifically prove that this entity is even real. But look around, billions of people believe, billions of people worship, billions of people feel something science can't quantify. So when someone talks to a tree and that tree moves right on cue, maybe the question isn't, can science explain this? I mean, with that said, I need to go deeper. Here's the core. For most of human history, people believe trees were conscious beings that could communicate, respond, and even guide. So in ancient cultures, they believed trees were able to communicate. They were conscious beings. Just because they have the same organ as you or anything you can scientifically explain doesn't mean they're not real. So I swear that the more we learn about ancient people, they were more and more advanced and very much intelligent than we are right now. It's like we've gone stupid over the centuries. You know what I mean? So yes, let me say that again. For most of human history, people believe trees were conscious beings that could communicate and respond and even guide. Just imagine if we tapped into that. We are in the age of Aquarius, which means that veil is being lifted. That doesn't mean the veil in humans will be lifted. That means the veils in animals, nature. So these past 3, 4, 5 years, animals should be acting different. They should be going through a whole spiritual transformation, which means their whole ideal of understanding would be a lot more advanced because the spell is breaking. It was a spell they'll put on. Remember, like 4, 5, 6,000 years ago, they put a spell to divide communication where we couldn't understand each other. Remember, that wasn't just in humans. That was also in animals and birds and things of that nature. It's not a coincidence that it's going viral that animals can understand you. That's not a coincidence. We are going to see more of these interactions. More we get deep into the age of Aquarius. Okay? May cause panic in certain authority figures who don't like this reaction. They get over it. So not metaphorically, but literally they were able to communicate, these trees. And this belief shows up everywhere. In African traditions, many African cultures believe trees house ancestors or spirits. Oh yeah. Says some people, spirits goes to the tree. Why do you think when you do your family tree, why do they even call it a family tree in general? People spoke to them, prayed under them, and received guidance from them. And they feel the love resonating from that tree. In ancient Greece, the Greeks believed in dryads, tree spirits, and held court cases under sacred tree because they believed the tree witnessed the truth. Just imagine how many cases you can solve and missing children you can find by merely asking, where is the body buried? Where is this person? And watch, they tell you. Watch, they guide you on where it is, where the child is, and where is the body. They talk, they see. If they don't like you, well, you'll find that out too. So in Hebrew and biblical traditions, trees are treated as living beings with purpose. Remember the tree of life, the burning bush, trees clapping their hands in Isaiah, remember? Symbolic, yes, but rooted in the idea that nature responds to God and humans. Remember the tree was clapping? Remember that? Yes. Like it understood. But they're trying to find an eardrum. Seriously, that's what we're doing? Oh, that is just the Autobot. Exactly. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, but that's the Autobot. I'm not doing that. There's no human doing that. That's automatic. So just ignore that. Okay. In India, the banyan tree. Banyan trees were considered wise elders. People tied prayers to them because they believed the tree heard, the intention. And then we have the Celtic Druidic tradition. It's called Celtic Druidic tradition. I'm sorry. The Celts believe trees have personalities, memories, and the ability to communicate with humans. Oak, ash, yew were considered teachers. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. So, then we have the indigenous Americas. Many tribes believe trees were relatives, not sources, and that they communicate through energy, vibrations, and presence. So when I saw these videos on TikTok and they were saying, touch my cheek, and the tree moved to touch their cheek. In ancient traditions, this was not anything new. This was something that they have been doing years ago. A lot of ancient traditions are going to come into full fruition now because the veil has been lifted, the spell has been lifted, so people are going to start remembering things. A lot of inventions are going to start going rapid now. Oh, yes, we just getting started. So when I saw someone ask these questions and the trees were responding in a way as if they understood what they were saying, it reminds me of a lot of things. A lot of memories start sparking in my head. Memories that are not mine. I don't know where they came from, but they weren't mine. Me singing around a tree, hugging a tree. I think I had a visual where I was staying in some big house or something. And I used to sit and read by a tree. I don't know where that vision came from because that has never happened ever. So let me just sum it up to you. See, modern science says trees can't hear because they don't have ears, right? But ancient culture said trees respond because they have spirit. And maybe the truth is somewhere in between. I mean, that's the sweet spot, right? So maybe the real question is, why do we think science is the only authority on what's real? Because long before laboratories, humans' intuition was the authority. Long before microscopes and humans had connections. Long before data, humans had spirit. Our ancestors believed trees were conscious beings. Every culture has sacred groves, tree spirits, tree gods. People prayed to them, talked to them, asked them for guidance. Maybe that was a superstition. Maybe it was a memory. Maybe the natural world has always been responding and we're not listening. Maybe we're now remembering how to notice. And that's it. That's your brain food for today. And I'm going to end it saying, stay open and stay curious. And the next time you walk past a tree, hug the tree, talk to the tree. If you have a tree in your backyard and you've just been ignoring that damn tree, maybe you should take very good care of it because that tree could one day save your life, your house, your children, and watch over you a great deal. You have no idea. I've seen and heard the miracles ever since I've been looking at this. The miracles the trees has been doing over centuries and times are crazy. So I know this sounds insane to some of you who are science heads, but just, give your trees a little love next time you see them. If you have a big tree in the backyard, give it a little love. Clear its branches, talk to it. Yeah. That tree has been giving you shade, making sure your house is not too damaged by the rain and the sun. Been looking out for you a great deal. Oh, yeah. So next time you walk past a tree or a tree is in your property, give it some love. Oh, yeah. And try to communicate with it. Telekinesis or whatever you want to do. Ask the tree its name and see if it'll answer like the young lady said in that video. And that's all I have to say. And if you do this, can y'all tell me what it says and post it in the comments, because I would love to read them. Have a good night, you guys. Sorry for keeping you guys up. You have a wonderful night. Bye.
We see you, we see you, we remember. I am the storm, I am the storm. I am the silence, I am the silence. I am the truth unveiled, I am the truth unveiled.
Yourself, yourself.